The very first thought that I had after I watched this trailer was, my God, there's a lot going on. In terms of, I guess, scale and scope and the general grand sense of feeling, all of the trailers that we've got from the sequel trilogy, this is by far the biggest. And also, maybe the most mysterious. You know, the sequel trilogy has done a really good job, trailer-wise, of not feeding us too much information, just giving us a taste, a little appetizer before the main course. And once again, that's what this trailer does perfectly. We still really have no idea what's going on, right? We have no idea what's going on. Judging by the little that we've seen, it looks like the Resistance has been rebuilt, pieced together, a ragtag bunch of fighters from across the galaxy, various systems, all coming together to fight a common enemy. And that is no more apparent than in the shot where we see just the shitload of ships. The ship porn with the Falcon leading the way. That looks like a slow march towards a destination. When I did a stream, the biggest question that I got was, I think, about C-3PO. People are worried about their favorite droid butler. Understandably so. Is this a moment of self-sacrifice? What is he talking about here? I personally do think it's going to be a moment of self-sacrifice, but at the same time, it seems kind of odd that you would reveal that. Something that will be majorly impactful to everybody in the theater. You're going to reveal it in the trailer. That's why I think there's kind of a bait and switch here. You know, these trailers have kind of had a history of having quotes in the trailer, and maybe the delivery is different in the film, maybe the order that they're said is different in the movie as well, and the trailers are sometimes a little bait and switch. Not revealing anything, you know, feeding us something, a narrative that we think we're going to get, only for that to be turned on its head when we go see the movie. We see Zori Bliss on the left there in this moment. So I think it's true that the little coin SD card thingy that she was holding up in that EW picture was actually something that's going to fit in the back of C-3PO's head. My biggest guess on this is that it's going to be kind of restoring his memories from the past, the prequel eras when Bail Organa wiped his mind. I think that's all going to be restored. Our characters are going to learn everything that we already know about the past, because they're kind of in the dark, right? They have no idea what the hell happened all those years ago, and I think 3PO might kind of be the key to unlocking the mystery for them. Could be wrong. A lot of people think it's a combat upgrade kind of thing. That could absolutely be the case, but I can't get the idea of C-3PO doing any form of combat out of my head without it feeling and looking super goofy, but we'll see. The thing I'm still most excited to see, and most, I guess, interested to see too, is Kylo and Rey, their continued dynamic, their continued relationship. It was one of my favorite things in The Last Jedi, seeing their connection, seeing how they kind of empathize and relate with one another. And it would appear that in some form or fashion, they're teaming up in the Rise of Skywalker. When the Emperor says your coming together will be your undoing, I believe that's what he says. I don't think he's talking about, you know, the crew with Finn and Poe. I think he's talking about Rey and Kylo. That makes sense in context. I think they're probably the only two characters that will actually see the Emperor. But in the shot where they're busting over the statue of Vader, where Vader's helmet is, at first when I saw that moment, I thought, you know, they were fighting and they accidentally knocked this thing over. It doesn't appear that way. They both look to be deliberately swinging at it, and after it falls, they don't look like they're, you know, for the split second after that where we see them, they don't look like their defenses are up. They don't look like they're currently like in sparring and in combat. I don't know. I think The Rise of Skywalker, more than any other Star Wars movie, is going to introduce some, I don't know, fantastical elements. Star Wars movies have always been pretty subdued, right? In terms of, you know, bad guy, good guy. There's a pretty linear story, not too much fantastical, trippy stuff going on. Most of the time, like Mortis, for example, it'd be very difficult to find Mortis in a Star Wars movie, right? Anything close to it. Star Wars movies are usually pretty simple. That kind of stuff is usually reserved for non-film material. But I think The Rise of Skywalker is going to be the most fantastical Star Wars movie we've ever seen. Rey is holding a dagger. A lot of people think that's the dagger of Mortis. Potentially. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it's going to be called that. I don't know if that's exactly what it's going to be, but, you know, the idea, maybe it'll be lifted from that. Or maybe it won't be related whatsoever. Just because we see a dagger doesn't mean it's the one dagger that we've seen before, right? I mean, it could be, but probably not. But it could be, but probably not. Now, what the hell is the Emperor? I'm just here. I just can't even picture what role he's going to be playing in this movie. We see him kind of from the back. He's riding his hover-round, his floating hover-round. He seems to be slowly going towards Rey. She seems to have her defenses up, but she also seems kind of weirded out. And obviously we're going by like a half of a second of a faraway shot, but that's kind of the way I take it. And once again, I just can't wrap my head around what role Palpatine is going to have. And look, I've said this since the very beginning, since we found out that he is going to be in the movie in some capacity. It just instantly feels goofy to me. Because look, I've always said that I've never liked the idea of character resurrection. Darth Maul coming back doesn't interest me. He got cut in half. You know, sometimes characters can be dead. Boba Fett, in my headcanon, he did not fly out of the Sarlacc pit. Not every character that we see bite the bullet needs to come back. And I've said that for almost a decade on this channel. So the idea that Palpatine is back, just the concept of it, from the very get-go, I've never been the biggest fan of. Now, I've reserved judgment until I see it, you know, as we all should. And I'm holding out hope that it's not going to feel really ham-fisted and goofy to me. And that's me being very hopeful that a concept that I never would have wanted in a movie and instantly thought sounded silly, that's me holding out hope that I'm going to enjoy it by its execution. And again, I have no idea what role Palpatine's going to have. He looks pretty immobile. He looks like he's relying on this chair. And again, we're going by a 1 second frame shot of Palpatine way off on the left side of the screen. But that's the vibe I get. He's bound to this chair, this mobile chair that's maybe flying him around. I really don't know, man. What is he going to be doing? Has he been living in the Death Star? Has he been living on a planet? I don't know. So our heroes are all together, it seems, at least temporarily until Rey breaks away and does her own thing. That's one of the things I'm most excited to see, the group dynamic. Another thing that I'm extremely excited to see on the most level possible is what appears to be an epic space battle to end all space battles. It's to the point of like, what the fuck? A shitload of Star Destroyers, an ungodly amount of Star Destroyers, a ton of Resistance ships from all walks of life, from multiple eras it seems. A ragtag group coming together, patchwork, let's fight. There's a lot to kind of sit back and wonder about in this trailer. And there's a lot of things that, you know, you could frame by frame and break down, show little devices that pop up here and there, like on the dashboard of the Millennium Falcon, for example, or the battle droid in the background of C-3PO. There's a lot of things like that, you know, Easter egg hunters will have a heyday with in this trailer. But I'm more of a feels kind of guy than a details guy when it comes to my Star Wars, but that stuff's fun too. What do you guys think? I feel like I just rambled on for 10 minutes. And that's exactly what I did. I just hopped up. We watched a trailer last night together. I did a 2-hour live stream. I hopped up and I wanted to kind of condense a few of my basic thoughts into one, I don't know, podcast form, free-flowing, whatever video this morning as I sip on a little bit of black coffee. There will be more this week. Individual videos, maybe talking about individual moments and scenes. We'll see what I do. I don't really have a game plan right now, but that's usually the story of this channel. No game plan, fly by the seat of my pants. Let me know what you guys thought of the trailer in the comment section below. Did it hit you the way you thought it would hit you? Are you pleasantly surprised that you enjoyed it more than you predicted? What are you looking forward to the most? What are you most intrigued by? What are your biggest questions? Let me know in the comment section below. HelloGreedo, out.